It may be rare, but pancreatic cancer is the fourth leading cause of cancer deaths in the U.S. Now a $12 million effort aims to find new ways to treat and slow the growth of pancreatic cancer. Joining me is co-leader of the DREAM team, Ronald Evans, director of the Gene Expression Laboratory at the Salk Institute for Biological Studies. And Ron, more than 24 doctors and researchers from around the world are part of this DREAM team. So why is a global effort needed to conquer pancreatic cancer?
Well, if one lab or one individual could do it, it probably would have been done. And so we've thrown a lot at pancreatic cancer. It's been very rough to move the needle for survival. So we assembled a dream team of international level to try to really take a different approach, a new and innovative approach to rapid development of ideas and deployment of new therapies.
Before we get to the specifics on that, how does pancreatic cancer compare to other cancers, let's say breast or lung cancer?
The 5-year survival for pancreatic cancer is the worst that we know of. It's a very lethal diagnosis. So from the patient point of view, it's very tough because we don't have many options for treatment. So while it's relatively rare, 40,000 or so, 45,000 people will receive that diagnosis in the United States, nearly all will die in 5 years. And so and that makes the fourth leading or most deadly of the cancers.
Do we know why?
We do sort of know why. This cancer is very rough to treat because it is not just, it doesn't live alone. It lives in an ecosystem and is surrounded by something like an invisibility shield. And that invisibility shield hides the cancer in plain sight. So the goal for us is to try to uncover that shield, to use molecular genetic programming and come up with new therapies.
Well, specifically, that's one way. What else is the team going to do specifically to try to approach or conquer this pancreatic cancer?
So it's an international team. We're going to bring research ideas, models that are in the laboratory together with new types of therapies for patients. We're going to test them rapidly in a rapid deployment type of analysis, a matrix system to come up with a combination of therapies, working off existing drugs. That's one of the key parts, is because we're not going to develop new drugs, we're going to work with existing drugs. We can get a cocktail, and therefore within literally months from the start, and this is going to start basically in this month, in 6 months we'll be starting our first trials.
Yeah, and let's talk about those clinical trials. So who would they be geared toward?
They're going to be geared towards patients who are literally walking into the clinic with a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. And the ones who sign up to be parts of these trials will be the first ones getting these new therapies. We'll start with small pilot trials and then expand these as the team goes on.
How is pancreatic cancer generally treated today?
Well, there's two approaches to its treatment. Initially, if it's possible to do surgical treatment, that will be done. But still, people who get surgery often don't survive long. So the second is chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is typically 2 drugs that are given, that are approved for pancreatic cancer, but they have only a modest amount of survival time, 6 weeks each. That's not very much.
Aside from what you're working on, have there been other advances in treating pancreatic cancer? And if not, how come the progress has been so slow?
It's a very challenging and powerful foe. And it hides itself, and because it hides itself, it's been difficult to understand how to treat it. So our secret is not just going after the cancer, it's going after this invisibility shield. That's the secret.
And we have to end on this, but what's the timeline for this clinical trials? You say they're going to start soon, and how can people find out more about them?
The first trials will start in 6 months, and then the second trial will start probably about another 3 or 4 months after that. And these will be posted on the Stand Up to Cancer website.
Okay. Dr. Ron Evans, thank you so much.
Thank you.